All right, we are live here. Yes, I believe we are off and going. I have my studio window fired up. I've got my mic connected. I think we're all good to go here. So like I have set up in the description, I've got a couple different directions we could go today with the studio build session. So might have to wait for some people to come in to pick a direction and get going. Also, what do we feel about music today? Could try to find something on Spotify to play in the background, but I do not have to by any means. Figure out a little bit of setup here. Go with the red today. There does not seem to be a whole lot of activity in the chat so far. So I might just have to pick something myself and start building. Give it another minute. When we hit the 3-minute mark, I'll go ahead and pick something. Okay, that's 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the modular. I think I'm going to work on modular today. We'll give it at least half an hour, probably a little bit longer. Maybe take a little break, 20 minutes in or so. But I do have should have the Tudor Corner building palette isolated. Yep, here we go. So the way that you can get to this is do a file, import official set, and then search for the set number. And you have two options. You can load it into your building scene, which will put all the pieces in the window, or you can load it as a palette, which is what I have right here. So that will save you a lot of scrolling. If you do want to build a specific set, you don't have to go and choose. Your standard palette just has all the pieces and all the colors. So, I mean, a free build, you kind of want to have all the parts available, but when you are looking at building from a set, I think it's a lot easier to just have only the parts you'll be working with available to look through. It kind of narrows it down. And if you another thing, sometimes it's not always clear what the exact color is on a part. So if you load up a palette, you don't really have to worry about making any mistakes on the color side. It's another another way to go, because then what happens is you might build like an alternate model for a Lego set and upload it to your Brickable, and then when you get to the inventory step, it turns out you used a part variant that isn't actually part of the set inventory, and it starts throwing errors because you didn't use the exact same parts. So this is another way to make sure that you're getting everything lined up where it should be. So I know the base plate is first. That is step number 1. I do have the PDF instructions, so I'll be flipping back and forth between the instructions and the studio window, but for the stream it's locked to the studio application, so you guys won't see the instructions, but I'll be going back and forth quite a bit to reference those. I only have one monitor set up right now. So the first step is actually building one of the minifigs, but I don't think I have the minifigure parts in the mix here. So I will probably skip the minifigs. Let's see if I have. Oh, I've got the headgear. Hold on. So the minifig parts are not in the palette, but some of the headgear and stuff is. And there's actually an option when you import the parts whether or not you want to add those. And I don't think I did. I think I just want to focus on the building. So I will get to doing that. Base plate, and then the first row of tiles looks like they are all 1x6 with an outside corner. So tiles right here, and this guy. Look at that. Times out perfectly. The other thing I do when I'm building from a set is include the correct step blocking as I go. It's a whole lot easier than coming back in later and trying to fill everything in. Now we have some dark gray up in the front corner. Let's see. We've got the 2x2 tiles with the pin. Those are arranged in a sort of grid. So that would be a tile modified, I believe. 3 of those like that. In between, there's the 2x2 tile with the stud. And I think Studio classifies that as a modified plate instead of a modified tile for some reason. Easy enough. Then we build a border around that corner shape, a 1 tile wide border out of some 2x2 corners and 1x1, 1x2 tiles. So that's going to look like this. Not that one. That gets a 1x1 in the corner all the way in. There, there, there. 1x2, there, and there, like that. Also in this step is the first part of the tan and dark tan. It's kind of an inset design here. So let's see, that's going to have a rounded corner tile. This one. There and there. And it's going to have one of the newer tile parts. Oh, let's see. That is in tile modified. Is where they have organized that. And then we've got 1x2 light gray and some other 1x1 tans. Okay, back to this one. There and there. Then I'm taking a guess that might be backwards. Yeah, it's mirrored. It's supposed to be there and there. That and that. Last two for this step. What light nougat? This one here. This color is really similar. Almost grabbed the wrong one. And this one. Okay, that's step 2. Start collapsing these. Yep, that's everything. All right, step 3. Oh, there's a note on the instruction book here. It says, this coat of arms embedded in the sidewalk testifies to the rich history of this street corner. So that is supposed to be like a shield design. So something I thought when I first saw this modular building was to close the other side off with 2 more of these. But now, according to the instructions, it's actually supposed to be like a coat of arms design. So that makes more sense why it's flattened out. It's interesting. All right, we've got a bunch of the dark bluish gray 2x2 tiles and a couple more 2x2 jumper plates. So let me make sure these all go in the right spot. And we'll lay them in here and here. I also have not been checking chat, so let me see if there's anyone in chat yet. Anybody? Anybody there? I think I'm looking in the right spot, and I don't see anything yet, so I'm gonna keep going. And that. Now we have a nice continuous row of 2x2 tiles all the way to the end. This is one of those parts that when I go and get loose Lego at third-party reseller like Bricks and Minifigs or some of these other independent Lego resale stores, I always look for this tile, and probably a lot of other people do as well, because I usually do not find very many, if any at all. So I'll probably just have to keep buying them. The ideal situation would be for these to end up on a pick and build wall at a Lego store. And I think they have before. Dark tan would be a more common color that I have found at a Lego store. 2x2 tile dark tan. I don't think I've ever had the dark bluish gray tile, but I think somebody else probably has. All right, I know we get another row of these, but there are also 2x2 jumper plates mixed in. So it looks like those are every third space in this next row here. So that is plate modified here, there, and there. Get those. That goes in between. And then we will have the 1x2 grate as well as some 1x2 plates in the corner. Okay, see if I can do this in one go. 1x2 plate. dark bluish gray here and here, tile right there, tile modified right there. I think it goes right there. Let me check. No, it goes way over to the other side. All the way, whoop, not that. All the way over there like that. And is there anything else in between? I think the rest is 1x2 tiles. So fill in this spot all the way to the end. And then all of these for the rest of the sidewalk, and that should be step 3. Moving right along. Got another small section with the tan 1x1s in this upcoming step. And that's going to build off over on the other corner. So let's see, it starts with the 1x2 dark gray. Will be over here. Here and here. Then we need 1x1. I might not be, I think I should be one more over, like that. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm just gonna grab this whole section and bring that over right there. I also need this whole section. What else goes here? A couple of white, bluish, gray 1x1s. Like that in a row there. And then another couple on the inside. There, there. A couple of these 1x1 tan tiles again. Right there. And then dark bluish gray to finish out the rest. Starting with 1x2 plate. And then a few more of these 1x1 tiles. Like that. And that is step 4. Moving on. Alright, on the other, around the corner, start another row of 1x2 tiles and 1x2 grates. That silvery color. So those are going to go here and here. Ah, close. There and there, actually. And the rest goes like that. And that's all for that step, so that's kind of a shorter step, I guess. Then we'll come in with some 1x2s. Let's see, there's a 2x2s, 2x2 jumper plate. There's 2 of those here, and then there's also a little corner with a stud. So I'll put those in first. We will do, going the wrong way. No, wait, where is it? Right there. We get that. That's not right, but I need them on there first. The first one's right. The second one goes here. And there's also 2x2 corner and a 1x1. I'm gonna grab it off of that actually. Dark bluish gray, 1x1 plate. 2x2 tiles. Like so. That is step 6. Step 7 is another row and another couple attachment points. Look at my bearings here. So there's another one of these over, I think it's there. Oh no, it's rotated actually. Like that. And then we've got one of these here, 2 of these to either side. It's not in the grid. The rest should be 2x2 tiles. Once again. Burning through them. But it's one of those things where the first couple of modulars kind of created a standard. And I don't think early on they necessarily knew how popular these would be. And so at this point it's pretty much locked in. Besides these insets, because every modular is going to have a couple of different things going on the sidewalk with some different colors and tiles. Like the Parisian restaurant has some outdoor seating, but the base level for your modular sidewalks at this point, they're pretty much locked into these 2x2 dark bluish gray tiles. It became a modular standard in a way, and I think if it was something that got changed, the design language got changed, it would start to be in conflict with the existing line of modulars. And so it's kind of one of those things, the design aspect of these sets that I think is just kind of locked in, for better or for worse. And that dates all the way back to Cafe Corner, Greengrocer, Market Street. Those first 3. I didn't put the step break in here. I need to go back and do that. All these parts go in step 7, and then there is a new step. There's another row, 10 more 2x2 tiles, and then another 2x2 corner. Right here, another one of these right here. Let me check. No, 2 off right there. Then instead of a 1x1 plate, we are going to put in this thing. So we might need to be down in that recess later with a part. It might be a water drain or something that comes down there. Fix those 2 rows. That should be it for step 8. And at this point we are probably about done with the sidewalk. Oh, I spoke too soon. Step 9 is 9 more 2x2 tiles. But we're getting closer, I think. Okay, there's not really any other items. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's one of these right there. Nope, that's wrong. It is a 1x1 tile, not a corner. Like that. Then step 10 has a couple more, but I think a lot of these are going to end up underneath the building. So it's really just the finishing details. We've got a 2x8 plate. Oh no, did all of these end up in a different step? I should be in step 9, like that. Also step 8 for some reason is messed up. They're all in step 7. Okay, collapse all that, get that out of the way. Add step 10. We need our plate. 2x8. Right here. There's also a 1x1 brick next to that tile. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't looked super close at the modular itself, and the pictures that I have looked at, I've been focusing on the second story. So I've not really looked to see what all of this foundational work. I know there's like a dark green restaurant or cafe or something. That's the first floor of the modular. But I don't even remember if I've looked at the interior of the first floor. I think I was just kind of curious about the second floor when I was checking that out. A couple more tiles here, and then there's another white 1x1 round over here. I think somewhere in here is a jumper plate. 1x2 tile and a jumper plate. Plate modified. Like that. And step 10. Drop in some bricks now. 2x4. And one of these. So that's the start of the stairs. At this point, I am curious how many of these there are. So if I grab all of those, 62 2x2 tiles. And it actually could be more like 70 if you don't put in all of these 2x2 jumpers. So it adds up. Alright, where are we at? Step 12. There's some more tile work behind the stairs. So 1x2. 1x2, another jumper plate over here now. There. One of those. And a plate. That tile and that plate. Okay, it is 4:30. So let me set this here and look at the foundation. Oh, don't tell me. You know what I think is happening? I think when I go and copy a piece, for some reason it goes back in the step tree over here on the right. And it starts adding new pieces into that existing step. So I'm going to have to try to stay on top of that if I want this to stay correct. Which I'm planning to add this model to the rubricable thread of assembled studio files for official Lego sets once it's done. And so since I'm intending to share this, I want the steps to be correct to the official set. If it was just going to be a workspace for me to mess around, then I probably wouldn't care as much, but when it's a community project like that, it's good practice to try to keep everything in line. All right, let's break there for a couple minutes. 183 pieces into the corner modular, this year's modular, Tudor Corner. And we'll be back in a couple. All right, let's keep going with this project. Step 13, looks like we are going to start adding some walls. And I'm thinking I don't want to go a full hour, so I'll maybe go another 15 minutes or so and see how much of the base plate we can cover up. So add some dark bluish gray wall foundations here. Start laying the outline of the interior. Including the 1x2 Technic bricks that get the connection pin. Those are down here. This is another standardized feature of the modulars, the separation between these two. I believe it is 10 studs now. Yes, that is correct. 10. And that should leave us 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 here on the back. Yep, that's right. So some 1x3s. There's a 2x2 corner over here. 3, here, here, there. 1 by 1 and 2 more 10s. Like that. Something's not right here. This should be closer. One there. Okay, that's good. 1 by 6 on the other side of the stairs. Haven't placed any of those yet. And we need to put the pin, Technic pins, on this side, it says. Once you start assembling your whatever modulars you have collected, it's really, you know, it's all the same connection points. So it's symmetric over here. You can put the pins in either one. I think that is all for step 13. Double check. Pins in there, corners done, and the 1 by 1. Yep, that's it. Moving on. In the instructions, this is the start of beg 2. So we're going to add some more tiles, but not dark bluish gray anymore. We are moving into the nougat color, kind of a lighter brown shade. 6 1 by 4s, and then there's also a tan plate over here. Tile. Should be this one. Those 2. And then offset by 2. There are 4 more. All the way to the end. Then we have a 1, a 1. We have a plate. And then another 1 by 1 plate and 1 by 2 tile. That's not the right color. This one. So this is probably medium nougat. This color, orangish color. Yeah. Go away, tooltip. Okay, tiles and plates are done. Moving on to step 15. More tiles, more plates. So the 1 by 4s are always offset by 2. No, never mind. The next row is, but then one more row after that is not. Start to add some 1 by 1 plates in different locations. Alright, where did those go? Right here. 2, 2, there, and then there. Then it starts getting offset or something. This one's not in the right spot. Just a second. One more over, and then there's also a jumper here. Okay. Modified plate. Should be this one right here. That one goes there. There are 2 of those. 3 of those actually, and then a tile. I'm gonna resist the urge to grab it because that's in the previous step. So what I've been doing before is I'll grab this part, which is in step 14, and then when I copy it, I have my shortcut to copy a part. So it'll go and put another copy of that part, but it'll put it in step 14. So that's what was messing me up earlier. And then when I kept going, it stayed in step 14 and just added the other parts in there. So if I'm gonna keep everything as original as possible and keep all these steps straight, then I have to place them from the palette. And as long as I'm in the same step, I can still copy, because it'll put it at the bottom. But I just can't go to a part that I put in a previous step. And really, for a digital model, this isn't really crucial. If you're making instructions, this is one way to make sure that you don't have too many parts in a single step. But I've recently been reading more about Studio Instruction Maker, and you don't have to set it up this way. Once you get into the instruction editor, there are other tools for breaking down the step process. So this is the way that I learned how to do it, and this is probably how I will continue to do it. But even for mocks where you're making instructions and you need to keep pieces in separate steps, there are different approaches. This is just how I learned how to do it and how I try to, it's one of like the best practice things that I try to do a lot. Okay, so that should be the tiles for step 15. Another 10 light nougat parts in step 16. So it's another row of 1x4s and then a column of 1x2s. Put them in. 4 of those. 5 of those. And a plate. Right there. Nope. Wrong color. Right there. And I didn't add the step. Spent all that time admonishing only for me to forget to do it. Typical. Step 17, change up the colors now. We got some reddish brown, sand blue, and dark brown tiles coming in. So this will start, we're going to start with the plates. Reddish brown plates. There are 2 corners over here. And then 1x8 looks like. Right there. Then we start with a 1x1 sand blue tile. Lego part trivia. This tile was very rare until about 2023 when it started showing up in more sets. But from the early 2000s to the early 2020s, this part was only in a single micro scale Star Wars set. And there were also, I think they were also available here and there from Lego Factory, like Lego Factory stores at Legoland and possibly Pick and Build or other sources, but not in any meaningful quantity. And so it was maybe a $4 or $5 part at one point, this little sand blue tile. And then just within the last couple of years, it's been used almost abundantly. Dark brown. Ink. So that should be 7 dark brown and 10 sand blue. And that matches the part bill of materials for step 17. So that is probably correct. Let's move on. We've got a light medium blue 2x4 plate. Add another step here. Plate, 2x4 plate. What color is this? Bright light blue. And it's either nougat or medium nougat? I think it's medium nougat based on the instruction page. We're gonna try it. If we run out of pieces, I'll know it was wrong. And that's the small step. There's only 4 parts in there. Step 19, we're back to our tiles on the other side. So I think they're going for like the plank, lumber plank look. 1x2 jumper, 1x4 tile. It spins it around like this. Start with the jumper. And then we get a tile. There. I think we're only going 4 rows. 5 rows actually. And then there's a 1x1. I think we want those there. And we want some 1x2s. For the rest. Fix that corner. Yep, that's 19. 20 is gonna have some white and azure in the other alcove. But first we're gonna put in some tan plates. Right here. Two by 4 all the way in the back. 2x2 a little further up, and then azure, and the next row gets the jumper tile. That one there, that's a jumper, so that's the other tile. Oh, wait a second, is that also a jumper? Yeah, that's also a jumper. Not that. Plate modified. White one. There. Yep. 21. Jump across the other side of the foundation there. Some more tan plates. Let's see, where did those go? 2x4 plates. There and there. This time we have dark tan tiles and jumpers. 2x2. That's as much dark tan, about as much dark tan as you're gonna get. Plate modified. There's 2 more of these somewhere else in the model, but not here. And then there's 2 tiles that are light nougat. Right there. Going like that. That's all for that step. Now we've got a nice little compass pattern, looks like, with some black tiles. And there's 1 jumper. So I'm going to build the border first. The border is built out of 1x2 tiles. And I think they start here. Nope, that's not correct. They start offset by 1. Then they go up and over. That last one is a jumper. Very useful, handy element. And then we get some more of those they called? 2x2 with two 1x1 curved cutouts. Double arrow. I like the double arrow name a little better than the full name. Let's go like that. Double check here. That's all good. Now we're going to fill it in with that light nougat color. Some quarter round pizza slices. But those are in their own step. Like that. And some 1x2s. I think they go across the front. Already forgot. Let me check. No, they go back against this outline. And then there's a plate. 1x4 black plate. Right here. That's it for 23. I'm gonna do, let's see here. What's the next couple steps look like? I'm gonna build the toilet and then call it for today, because we're already at 4:52 here. Yeah. Let's put the lavatory together so that we've at least got some facilities by the end of this session here. So step 24, we're starting with the tank and the bowl. And this is what is behind. If these turn out to be the stairs later, then this is under the stairs. I think that's what this is the start of over here. So that's where this is going to be going. Got a 1x4 plate. And it's not that one actually, it's a round one. I think that's a newer part, because that I've not seen a lot of before. Jumper plate and sand blue tiles. Tile. Last two. Now we need the bowl. Is that in brick round? Yep. Right there. And there is some clean potable water in this bowl. In the form of a round transparent blue tile. You're welcome. Better build the lid here. This is a sub-assembly in the instruction book, but I'm probably just going to build it directly because it's not a terribly complicated sub-assembly. Probably later on we'll get into some more complicated, where you're building everything independent of the model and then you add it later. And of course each separate floor that we'll lift off will be a sub-assembly. So those I'll definitely replicate on the studio side, but for this little thing I'm not gonna worry about it a whole lot. Alright, brick 1x2, stud knot on top, brick there and there. Then we've got a ingot tile, a 2x2 round tile, and a bar with a handle. Tile modified, or is that going to be a plate modified? This is where Studio and I have some disagreements about how to organize pieces. Just going to search. Minifigure utensil. Okay. I suppose an argument could be made for that part to be there. Bar. Gold. Going for that brass finish. Alright, commode complete. very accessible. That is the end of step 25. And I think, oh no, it needs one more thing. I'm gonna do all step 26 because there's something important here. Okay, it's another row of white, bluish, gray bricks. What does it start with? I've got a 1x4, I've got a 1x10, and 1x2. 2 is there. The 10 is here. The 4s go here and here. And this is going to become an indispensable component. Where is the brick? Right here. So that goes there. Then it gets a tan non-friction pin and a Technic panel. I need, there it is, taller than I thought. Where is this part at? Technic panel, 2x1 curved. You already know. Cannot forget the TP. Absolutely crucial. All right, the last part in step 25 is a 1x2 brick. And that will be the breakpoint for today. So we are 339 parts into the two-door corner. We've got most of the floor tile layer complete and the first furniture element as well. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Streaming schedule going forward. Maybe looking at doing these one a month, and so this month it worked out to be the 1st of February, but the past 3 or 4 weeks or so I've been able to hit a weekend upload, and I probably will be doing that going forward. So look for new uploads on Saturdays, and then around the first week of every month will potentially be a streaming session. I haven't decided that for sure. But that seems like a decent way to space it out, kind of to mix up the different content, and also it gives me an opportunity to put a video out without as much editing legwork, because some of the videos I've done so far this year took a little longer to edit than I was anticipating, and so if I can be able to be consistent with the uploads every week, but then have a break here and there with the editing side of things, that would be nice. So I think that's about a good balance that I want to aim for, and we'll see how the replays of this stream does. If this really doesn't seem like it's terribly interesting, or if people are interested in a different focus, a different topic for the stream, I'm open to that as well. We just didn't have a lot of company today to help choose the direction, so I ended up choosing the two-door corner. But there's a couple other mocks and a couple other studio-based items, building session stuff that I would not be opposed to doing on a stream either. So if that comes up in conversation, or if somebody has something else in mind, I'm open to ideas on that front. But it is now 5 o'clock, so that is an hour of streaming, and I'm going to cut us off right there. So thank you for watching, guys. Like I mentioned, look for those Saturday uploads. Every once in a while it might be a Sunday, depending on when I get the edit put together. But that's what I'm aiming for, and hopefully we'll be consistent with that this year.